We like to test to make sure we are live on Twitch. Looking good there. Fun. We are live on Twitch. Let's check out YouTube. Fun. We are now also live on the YouTubes. So we are live everywhere, all the good platforms, all the best ones. Your YouTubes, your Twitches, your Mixers, RIP. Grovel, welcome, Grovel. Good to see you, man. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving weekend. I certainly did. How are things going with you? I saw you playing some Rogue Legacy 2 this weekend on your Switch, in addition to some Splatoon. I was spying on you, Grovel. And Grovel, you did finally inspire me to pick that up on PC. I picked it up over the Steam sale. I'm going to play it on my Steam Deck as soon as I get it back from its RMA. Had some kind of weird shutting down error, so I had to send it back in. But I do have Rogue Legacy 2 ready to go, and Grovel, you're playing inspired me for sure. I've heard, yeah, Grovel says that Rogue Legacy 2 is pretty fun, which is exactly what I've heard. Love the first one. I get hopelessly addicted to all those roguelites, and I heard that Rogue Legacy 2 makes it worth the wait of a nearly 10 years in between the two. Because a lot has happened in the roguelite space. Things like Hades and Slay the Spire really elevated roguelites, and I'm glad to hear Rogue Legacy 2 is still pretty good. Okay. We're going to just play some Splatoon today. Nice and easy peasy type streaming. Grovel, if you are not busy at the moment, love for you to join us. Totally understandable if so. If you are, though. Can't remember if you're at work right now or not. Regardless, before we get started, though, with the Splatoon, we are going to go ahead and do some weed. I've got my freshly cleaned mini nail up here. We've got our volcano, all the old favorites, and I think I have fixed our camera headaches with our fancy technology. And, well, I don't have it set up exactly the way I want it yet. I'm going to try this. Dang, that's sick. Meet you right back here. Speaking of, let's start with a dab. Grovel, thanks for being here. Grovel, our first dab will be for you, my friend. This is some Katie? Cyattie. Cyattie. No idea how to pronounce this. It was on special Black Friday at my dispensary, which is why I have it. Grovel, this one's for you. Yeah. That was a bigger dab than I anticipated. Some cured resin here, and didn't realize just how much of my cured resin I did on that one. Woo! Fun. Exciting. A very nice way to start the stream. Well, let's get this cleaned out. Try not to burn the house down. We'll get to the volcano in just a moment. But we'll start with some Splatoon first. That's neat. Oh, and look, we've got 3 of our other BFFs here. Katie is here. Eric, Katie, and Grovel. 3 of our favorites. Welcome, guys. Hope you all had a great Thanksgiving weekend. I think I saw maybe all of you guys on Thanksgiving Day. I know for sure Eric and Katie were there. I'm pretty sure Grovel showed up. Either way, Grovel said he'll join in 10 to 15 minutes. Awesome. Take your time, Grovel. No rush. Let me know when you're here, and I'll switch over to a regular or a room that I create so you can join me that way. I'm going to swap to the Splatoon cam. There we go. Shambles, welcome, man. Good to see you, Shambles. Shambles says, happy Monday. One of the rougher Mondays of the year for folks, too. The Monday after a 4-day weekend for many people, I imagine has to feel like the most profound of all the Mondays there are. You know what? Maybe we will take that as a sign, and we'll just go ahead and close our Splatoon and reopen. Yes, Eric, by the way, new camera. I've really loved showing it off, mostly failing to show it off. It's the first time I've seen a web camera, a very nice web camera, attached to a gimbal as well. So you can do fun things like, let me give you, thank you for giving me another chance to show it off while I'm loading here. Like face tracking. And oh god, here we go. This is the one we always screw up on, Eric, is the zoom in. But we did it there. And then you can also just go to camera angles that you've already predetermined ahead of time. Bing, bang, boom. Say hello to Tim Heidecker over there, by the way. It's fun. Science. It is. The picture quality on it is pretty great, Eric. You do sell your soul to a straight up very Chinese company to do so. What is the name of? They're actually really famous for their 360 cameras. Their 360 degree cameras, action cams. Their Insta360 is the name of the company, and they're even more sort of wholly integrated into the Chinese mega economy than like DJI, the drone maker of legend. All right, I'm gonna swap back into the lobby, play a game or two while we're waiting for others to join us. Stop talking about my fancy webcam. Not that one. This one. For those of you lucky folks out there that have new Macs, I think it's exclusive to the M1 or M2 Mac computers, and then a much newer iPhone. Apple just released, speaking of cool camera shit, one of the most magic, classic Apple magic shit here. It's called continuity camera with your iPhone, which you can use your iPhone as a webcam for your Mac with all of its insane picture quality. And you can do a lot of those fancy tracking features that I just did with my smartphone on a gimbal. There, it just uses panning and cropping and AI to simulate your smartphone on a gimbal, and it actually works arguably better than the shut up dog solution I had right there. It's super magic. If you have a newish iPhone and a M1 or M2 Mac, it's pretty cool. I'm gonna stop talking and focus on the Splatoon. I'm already super high, and my dog is very upset with me. Didn't even notice them coming. Splatted by catsup. An appropriate name of a person to be splatted by. Holy shit. Sniped by Hero. Waiting for me around the corner. A brutally tough start to our Splatoon playing of the day. Let's hope maybe I can turn things around. Well, I at least got a few of them before I went out and gave my teammates a chance to make a nice push. With only 40 seconds left to go, maybe a miracle can happen here. I want to be, not where I want to be. I'll take a trade, although I think I didn't actually get to splat the guy. It was the blobber behind me. As long as somebody took him out. Very, very close. Not a lot of time left on the board. This is going to go right down to the absolute wire. Holy shit, great bubble. Shield placement by that dude. I'll take that. Nice little comeback there at the end. We'll have to see if it was enough. That is a lot more definitive than I would have guessed. Wonderful. A doo-doo start, but one we really managed to right the tailspin. I don't know my aviation terms. Come out of a stall. We were doing bad, now we're not doing so bad. Keep going. Well, real sorry there, pink team. Really let you guys down, but again, finished strong for you, and ended up pulling away with it. All right, it's time to get the game face on. Focus, focus, focus. Only thinking of Splatoon. Grovel says he's ready. Grovel, after this game, I will make ourselves a room. If you'd like to join, and we'll do our first volcano bag at that moment as well. Be about 3 minutes here. Sorry for the wait. Dumb. My bad. Thought I got around him, but he saw me there. He chased me down. Now, guys, stick around on this stream because I promise the spiciest take about Glass Onion that you're not going to want to hear today, for sure. Glass Onion being the critical darling sequel to Knives Out, the What Ryan Johnson whodunit movie of 2019 with Daniel Craig? Holy Nikes. Mims with the dapple dualies skating around out there, giving me no opportunity to apply my craft. Oh shit. I think they fell off. That'd be nice. Well, starting to look a little bit better for orange here. I'm gonna guess that was Mim sliding around again. Yes, it was. And blue is ever so slightly ahead. 9 seconds to turn things around. Gonna be hard to do, especially if I die immediately like that to old Mims again. Well, that's gonna do it for Orange Team. All right, let's take this opportunity to pause for a moment, swap our rooms. What? I cannot believe we won that. It looks like they just didn't get enough paint out on their base. They could have so 100% easily won that. I had a dreadful game. Wow, that was genuinely shocking. I cannot believe we won that. Both, they were way better than us, and the way that that map looked to me was so clearly blue was ahead. That's why you don't speculate. Anyways, neat. Thanks for waiting, Grovel. I'm going to make that room, and let's get our first volcano bag going. Not that I need it. Clear out the chamber. And you know what, Grovel? I'm going to put on some good gear here. Give us the best shot possible. At least from my estimation. Not the best, but good enough. I still haven't spent any of my now really accumulated chunks of ability chunks, which is what you use to get your little abilities that you want specifically for your gear. Just keep collecting them, never using them. Story of my video game existence. All right, we've got our first bag here. Hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. To some more successful Splatoon, even if they appear to be losses like before. Let's make it 3 in a row. Grobble says he's not seen the room. Oh, Grobble, shit. That is 100% my fault. 1 second. I forget to do this where I turn off my friends thing when I'm testing stuff out before streams. I'll be back in 1 second. I'm going to switch our camera over. Hold on just a second. It's like 5 menus deep to turn off, like, appear online. And you have to, like, go through other friends list things to do it. It's very cumbersome. I don't know why they make it so difficult. But I think this should do it. I'm gonna swap back. Sorry about that, Grovel. That was 100% my fault. Fingers crossed that took care of it. Niners all damn day says, have you tried Alien Labs live resin carts? Yes, I have, Niners all damn day. And they are perfectly fine and average. Sometimes they are extremely expensive, and I'm not sure they are worth the outrageous premium that I've seen sometimes. But they are totally fine live resin carts if you can get them without paying an arm and a leg. Appreciate the question. Eric has also a fascinating question. It says, do I think anything is going to come of the protests in China? No, absolutely not. I am always insanely skeptical. And of course, Eric, let me start by saying I have never been so consistently wrong about every... I've made some real predictions this year and made some incredible whiffs. First and foremost, let me put my show my whole ass here. I would have bet $1,000 to any interested party that Putin wouldn't have invaded Ukraine. So please understand that my grasp of global geopolitics is, and that's also redundant, is lacking. That being said, I don't think anything will come of the protests in China. Sadly, of course. I mean, intensely, very sadly. But many reasons. One, it's not like there hasn't been a history of mass protests in China before, obviously, up to and including the Tiananmen Square massacre in the 90s and all of the student protests of that era. But even more recent ones. I'm just skeptical even at the... We don't have any idea about the actual size, scale, and scope of these protests. But there is a vested interest in American foreign policy and even American citizens suggesting that these things are bigger and wider in scale and scope than they actually are. Like, I totally lost him. Whoops. I genuinely hope that a lot comes from it, and that these movements are as wide scale and far-reaching and filled with as much indignant anger as we should all expect people to be around that regime. But it's not the first time we've encountered protest. China is obviously incredibly, unbelievably, ruthlessly efficient at putting those things down. There's no reason to think that the machinery that they've been developing for the past 20 years for exactly these kind of situations won't ultimately come into play, kick into effect, and quell all of this. What if this is even as big as we're led to believe that it is? I just don't know. Rough game. Sorry, everybody. Well, I think. Let's not predict. That would be dumb. Nice. Damn, that was close. Holy hell. Well, thanks for the kind words, Eric. And sorry for my lack of cogent analysis. I I would be willing to bet the $1,000 that I didn't give to anybody to throw away about a bet of Putin invading Ukraine. I'd be willing to throw it away on this one that America's government collapses before China's does. You get to really determine what you mean by the word collapse, but I just it's hard for me to imagine that the boat could be rocked hard enough. I mean, with a country of every single person having a camera, an incredibly wonderful high definition camera in their pocket that is connected to, if not the World Wide Web, at least a intranet of China that many people could still get things filtered out from. It seems to me like if the few images we've seen are as contained as they are, this is so minuscule compared to what China went, through 30 years ago. I mean, just not even. It's not even in the same order of magnitude. I mean, not even in 2 orders of magnitude as close as the student protests back then. And China's ability to crush those things hasn't gotten weaker since then. It's only improved. It's really sad to imagine and think about, but I just can't believe that China's on the verge of anything other than more autocratic, technocratic scariness. I don't even know what we want from, like, what is the ideal outcome with China even anyways? Okay. Well, poop. Perfect. Now is the time I can get refocused. Think only of Splatoon. Not of Xi Jinping. And I often, well, bummer. I was going to say, I often think of this story. This is a legitimate thing that happened that both governments do not deny. And as an action of like, man, we just really, the world is more barbaric and we're not all quite as civilized and as forward-thinking as we are. And, we spend a lot of time myopically thinking about U.S.-China relations and our 300 million people versus their 1.2 or 3 billion or whatever it is people. But, like, probably for China, in some ways, obviously, this is not even the thing that they are most concerned about. There are other much more pressing and scary borders that China has to deal with. And I think it was 2019. It might have been 2020. There was an altercation. And this is a thing that happened in this is an encounter that could have happened 2,000, 4,000 years ago. And it would have been played out just the same. China has a lot of scary borders, a lot of scary things going on, and their biggest rival is probably not the United States. They're probably more forward thinking. It's probably India. All these people nuclear powered. And there was an incident at this like heavily contested border between India and China. Again, I don't remember the exact year. I think it was 2019, maybe 2020, where and this border is constantly monitored between both armies and the Chinese and the Indian armies. And there was some kind of altercation on a mountain overpass, like basically a bridge between the two armies, and in this tiny mountain bridge with no like electricity in the middle of the night, these two armies of these two nuclear powers grappled each other and fought to the death on a bridge, throwing each other's side off of this ledge bridge, killing, I think both sides have like different numbers, but at least probably 50 people between both sides. And that is the thing that is currently still happening in the world today. And again, both of those people are nuclear powered, and it's just, I don't know what point I'm trying to make other than like the world's a weird and not as totally civilized place as we'd like to believe that it is. And many of those folks have nuclear weapons. Civilized is a terrible word, and I didn't mean to say it. But there are places where modern armies are still, that are not at war with each other, fighting each other to the death, throwing each other, literally throwing each other from a span to their deaths. And it's a lot to worry about. What I need to be worried about is my Splatoon playing, which is dreadful. I am so sorry, blue team. I'm at less than 500 score with 40 seconds to go. I'm done talking. I don't know what point I was trying to make about that occurrence. It's just a crazy thing that I think about frequently. And I've got to stop thinking about it right now, because this is bad. Finally, got one of them. Too little, too late, yes. Yikes. Bravo, I'm sorry. Welcome. Eric, welcome. Sorry, Eric, of course. Captain Fang / Egg, welcome. Sorry, guys, that's easily one of the worst Splatoon performances I've ever had. Absolutely dreadful. I was thinking about throwing humans to their deaths in the year of 2020 or 2019, and how horrifying that is. And I'm going to use that as my excuse for my poor level of play, but in actuality, it's probably because I'm just high. Keep going. I am so sorry, everybody. Focus now, like a laser. Riri, thanks for being here. Egg, welcome to join us if you're interested. We'd love to have you. We could obviously use your help. Bummer. Communication error. Eric says, in response to my speculation about the protests in China being relatively hopeless as to whether they will endeavor any kind of real change, Eric makes the counterpoint, says that, I don't know, I like regimes that depend on large coalitions for their survival. So for me, the outcome with the most popular support would be the one I favor. Hard to disagree with that at all, Eric. And here's a thing that I am genuinely ignorant on. And I don't know how much anybody in the West actually knows, which is how much China's population genuinely supports the Chinese government. I mean, according to polls conducted by things like the CCP, they have unbelievably high levels of support. But of course, those things are obviously to be distrusted. But it would not surprise me in the slightest if more people in China self-report, even not under any kind of, even honestly, as honest as one can be with themselves, that they would prefer to live under this, the Chinese regime than any kind of Western democratic regime. I could easily imagine there truly being more domestic support for the Chinese government than there would be for an American government since 9/11. I wouldn't even doubt that is the case. And then again, it goes back to the whole well, what do we then, if that's true? What do you do with that? I don't know. It's all tricky stuff. Oh man, China. It's the Asian millennium, and we're all just living in it. Bummer. All right. I'm focused for real. Nightmare got a lucky splat on me. Well, Nightmare got a second lucky splat on me. And by lucky, I mean I was kind of standing perfectly still. Made it real nice and easy. It's a little bit closer than the last game, though. That's got me encouraged. Ooh, and a wipeout of purple team. This is our chance with the water level dropping. Take a trade. Okay. Starting to get my rhythm back here a little bit, maybe. Fingers crossed, though. Ooh. No! I thought we had it. Thought we made the comeback. That's okay. I'm feeling a little bit more alive out there on the battlefield. Let's get our second bag in here. Now that I finally had somewhat of a decent game. Thank you, Eric. I appreciate that. I took 2 Chinese history classes in college. While they were not the hardest history classes I took, they were incredibly difficult. The amount of history there is, I mean, each of those classes, it wasn't obviously in any way, shape, or form comprehensive. One was a Chinese prehistory. No. Yeah, one was like basically a Chinese prehistory class, and the other one was pre-dynastic history of China. And I've always kind of had a loose fascination with the history of China. Obviously, it's as long as any country's history, and is full of as many groundbreaking and revolutionary trappings as any nation's history. I'm not telling anybody this, but the shit that always boggles my mind is the amount of straight up what would have to just be lies are routinely taught as like historical truth in Chinese history. Things that so clearly could not have happened, but are presented frequently as if they are actual history. I think of a lot of great sieges and battles in Chinese history, including one guy who purportedly buried alive 400,000 individuals in a single day. This is a thing that is taught in Chinese history class, and anybody who stops to think for a second the logistics of such a thing realizes that that is a factual impossibility. It just cannot be done. But these things are routinely taught without a whole lot of, I don't know, skepticism as to their veracity, which I always find kind of interesting. Not that Western history isn't filled with its share of hucksters and liars and exaggerations and myth-making and all of that other bullshit, but like it feels like there is some effort to scrub out the stuff that seems most straight up impossible in terms of like the actual physical ordeal of it, including burying alive, nearly 500,000 people in a day. Can't believe I got him. 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 I have no idea how this one is going to shake out. We obliterated him. That's how it shook out. Nicely done, Grovel. Hell of a game there. Oh man. Okay. Well, we'll move on from China. Trying to think of a less depressing or existentially distressing topic to go over. And I did promise a fiery take on Glass Onion, the much beloved follow-up to Knives Out. That is no good. There's your fiery take. I don't know what the critics were smoking. I was just prepared to love it as anybody. It is not nearly as good as the original. There are some incredibly funny, great touches and takes in it, as you would expect from a Rian Johnson movie. But it is worse on every level. Satire is worse. The mystery is worse. The criticisms are duller. The characters are less interesting. It is a bummer. Now, Eric, I'm a real contrarian on this one, which I was not expecting at all. So I hope not that you get a chance to see it. I think it comes out on Netflix like Christmas Eve, maybe. I got a chance to see it in theaters, which was real nice. But I don't want to talk too much more about it, so as not to give absolutely anything away at all. But I am happy to talk more about it after it hits Netflix, and more people have seen it. But I do have some major gripes with old Glass Onion. Still alive somehow. Holy hell. I'll trade. That's fine with me. Nice. Oh, Eric. Well, I have excellent news for you, though, Eric. In regards to your criticism or your worry about Glass Onion, which I will get to in just a second. But there is actually very good news on that front, and certainly one of the better decisions I think the movie makes. Nicely done, Grovel. That was another ass kicking in a row. Beautiful. Eric says there are some movies that don't do well with sequels. You shouldn't have a predetermined sense of characters in movies like this. So true. Most movies should not have sequels. Most things should be a story that is told, and then that is it. It is a story that is self-contained with no ambitions for anything else. I think many of the greatest movies don't have sequels, and certainly no ambitions of them. But Knives Out, and now its follow-up, Glass Onion, was pretty mostly clear the first time what Rian Johnson was doing, and now the follow-up, it is very clear. Benoit Blanc, the bizarrely named, weirdly accented Daniel Craig detective from the first movie, is the only returning character. He is now fully a Sherlock Holmes or a Hercule Poirot type character. Just our guy who moves between a bunch of other mysteries and is our only linkage to them, but is not necessarily like the protagonist of the story that they are in themselves. They are solving the mystery of that story, but not necessarily the story's protagonist. In the mode of a Sherlock Holmes or a Agatha Christie, the Hercule Poirot, or any other number of other like mystery novels or stories. So the new story in this one is totally self-contained, has no bearing on the first one. You don't have to have seen the first one to enjoy this one, vice versa. So it is nice in that regard, like, and it works well also in that capacity. Yeah, these are, and I know Netflix has already bought itself another one, and these are now better to think of them as like, yeah, a Sherlock Holmes story than a movie franchise in the traditional sense. Almost escaped with my life, but the Explosher finally took me down in the back there. One of my teammates absolutely just saved my life. Thank you, teammate. This water level is going to drop. She's going to save our hides, I hope. Well, not mine. Not in that moment, at least. That Explosher is has my number. His little paint bucket / missile launcher is tearing me to shreds. Does not look like we're gonna have ourselves a last minute comeback here, but I'm gonna give it my all, that's for damn sure. Dump. Killed by Sonic. Gotta go fast. Gonna hope my buddy Geo has got me locked down over here. I'm alive for now, I'm alive for now. Damn, if I would have gotten that guy. The Explosher. Things could have been different. I could have been a hero. But instead I'm gonna go die immediately. Again. And Purple's gonna take this one to the end, to a victory. They're gonna win. This is what I was going to say. They're gonna win. Sorry about that, Grovel. I was thinking too much about Benoit Blanc. Rough game. Gonna hit the keep going. Fingers crossed for better luck. Holy shit, Grovel. Excellent game, man. Sorry we weren't all playing at your level, though. A 7-5. Nicely done. Their team was insane. A 13-1, a 12-3, and a 9-4. Wow. That was a lot of carnage on our side there. Oh, looks like a lot of the same crew is back. Crap. Uh-oh. And the same map again. I gotta say that I'm pretty sure this is my worst map, and I have bitched about it before, and sour grapes, I know. I do think that this is also the worst designed map in the game by a wide margin. It is so easy to corral one side in to their base, to their deaths. Holy shit! Skunk Tank from beneath with the dapple dualies, where I couldn't reach him, wrecking me in my crab tank. Nicely done. It looks like he has pulled that maneuver off many times. A lot of dualies users, 2 dualies users on their team. Sliding around out there, impossible to pin down. Well, if there's ever an opportunity for a comeback, it is right now. Dump. Taken out by Zadie again with those Dark Tetris dualies. Only the bad boys use Dark Tetra dualies. Oh. And wrecked from above by Takumi while I was trying to take care of their teammate. Nicely done. Hurts my heart. Well, hopes of a comeback are fading fast. But I'm going to teleport to Grovel, who may be our only hope. Thank you, Grovel. That's nice. That's less nice. I can't believe I messed that up. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough to mount a comeback. Wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be when I saw we were going to replay a lot of the same people from last time, but it's still pretty bleak. Grovel, you gave us our best chance to turn it around, but they still kicked our ass. All those dabbing motherfuckers. They deserved it, though. We really deserve to be dabbed on. All right, after this one, we will take a short break, do some volcano, lick our wounds, and come back refreshed. And hopefully against some weaker opponents. And you know, maybe also a new weapon. Maybe we take the sploosh out, the splash out, and put in the sploosh. Change things up, see how it goes. Oh, crap. Same people on the team again. Only one of them has changed. Thank God it's the same map again, though. We've definitely proven that they can beat us. And now we get the opportunity to prove that we can beat them. Hard to imagine. Holy shit, that's... Skunk Tank started that game off the exact same way both times, which is annihilating my crab tank with his dualies right there in our base, all by his lonesome. As I said, you know, I'm glad we're playing this map again. Oh, that makes sense. I don't know what I was thinking there. I was getting a little out of my skis, and they tore me to shreds. Rushed in the back. Was going after Sanic. Closer than it's ever been before. That's got to count for something. Uh-oh, I'm definitely going to my demise by an umbrella, dude. My bad. Don't know what I was thinking there. I see they've got little teleporters out there hidden. And covered up by bubble shields. Devious. Well, I got one. But I think they're just going to be able to teleport right back when they die. They've got 3 people out with the teleporters. Those allow you, I think, just to go directly there after you have perished. No wonder it seems to be an infinite supply of them out here. Oh no! Well, you know what? It seems like the perfect opportunity to take a break after this one. Definitely want to get out of this lobby. Leave the teleporting bubble shield users to their own devices. Hopefully we get some less professional players. Good players. I like those scrubs. I like those newbies. When they have any kind of skill, that's what happens. All right, Grovel, hope it's okay with you if I take a quick break. I'm going to do ourselves our second very small dab. Get ourselves another volcano bag, and we will come back refreshed and hopefully against some worse competitors. All right, I'm going to hit stop for the moment. I will go ahead and make the room again. Gravel, feel free. And anybody else out there, Egg, if you're out there, want to join, feel free. Oh, also, let me go ahead and before I do everything else, I'm going to swap my weapon. Neat. Now, let's do this. That's the wrong camera. And I'll see you guys back there. Thanks, Grovel. All right, here we go. Here is our second smaller, I hope, dab. We're going to enjoy. Wish yourself some better Splatoon luck. Fingers crossed. Thanks for hanging out. Oh shit, I forgot to change my camera back. My bad. There we go. I'm going to hit this. Nasty, welcome, Nasty. Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. And Grovel, I appreciate you waiting. Oh, another movie that I forgot to talk about. I don't think I mentioned it at all. I did go see The Menu 2 weeks ago now, I guess. The new quasi indie horror comedy, thriller comedy about a exclusive restaurant that offers a menu to die for, starring It Girl, The Queen's Gambit, Anna Taylor-Joy, Rafe Fiennes, Nicholas Hoult. A great, good old-fashioned, twisty, weird thriller that keeps you guessing until the very end. That is pretty good, not perfect. And I don't want to spoil things in it either, because it is a movie that can be eminently spoiled. But man, there are some things that I would love to talk about it. Oh, that's right, I've got a hammer now. I switched my weapons, my bad. But I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to spoil things for people if they see it. So I would try to be vague and say that I think the movie might have a Tyler Durden, Tony Montana kind of esque problem, a Jordan Belfort problem, a Joker problem even. I'm not sure the movie does anything or enough to convince people that a character that is clearly supposed to be a despicable bad guy is actually just that and not somebody to be rooted for. The movie has that going for it, which I did not expect. But if the movie ever becomes kind of popular, or if people ever get interested in what it has to say, I wonder if it would be in that context of some people valorizing a character that is clearly not meant to be valorized. But I don't know. I don't know if it'll go that way or not. It is certainly not something I was expecting out of that movie and its premise. Well, that was lucky. Oh, that makes sense. I went straight into a sniper's line of fire, but you win some, you lose some. I don't want to die. Then I probably shouldn't have teleported out to the middle. Oh no, no! We're gonna lose it! No! Classic final 10 seconds. I have nobody but myself to blame. I made some real dumb errors in that final 20 seconds of that game. Woof, man. We almost had it. We made some blunders. I know I did there at the end. But I had a little bit of success with our new weapon there. Especially when I remembered I had the hammer. Looks like we have somebody waiting to join us. Fingers crossed. Could it be Egg? Could it be Roku? Could it be Santa Claus? It's Egg, which is just as good as Santa Claus in my book. Thanks for being here, Egg. Hopefully you are going to be a sign that our fortunes are about to change. Eric says that he rooted for De Niro in Heat. Eric, speaking of Heat, I don't know how much coverage it got. I think it was a big deal. I think it was like the bestseller when it came out. I've heard it's actually spectacular. I have not read it. I'm not sure that I have too much interest in ultimately reading it, but I've heard really good things. Have you had any interest, checked out, or knew of the existence of the Heat 2 novel, co-written by Michael Mann and another beloved writer of fiction that came out, I don't know, a couple of months ago and is supposed to be quite excellent? I didn't even know it existed until it was out. Drat! Almost chased him down, but got splatted by K-Lunch in my attempts to sate my bloodlust. Yes, Eric, it's like the official, real deal thing by, like, Michael Mann himself. Oh, diarrhea pants. I got hit with a range blaster. Nice shot from that dude. Holy crap. That is a lot of wave breaks. Darn, I was held down by the range blaster, keeping me at bay. Alright, well, we've got our chance here. Water levels dropping. Got more real estate to spread some paint around. That was a dumb decision on my part. Oh, that is some amazing gear on that K-Lunch, too. That heavy splatling can move like lightning with all that run. Here we go again, pinned down. Oh, no! Try not to get killed by the wave break. Got him barely. Oh God, why am I stuck on this cube? I have no idea. But Eric, back to your comment about you rooted for De Niro in Heat. That is an excellent example of rooting for the bad guy. But I think in Heat's case, Eric, it's been a while since I've seen Heat. I mean, I don't think I've actually seen it since I was in college, probably. Back when everybody watched Heat. But you are definitely at least supposed to feel sympathy or some... Robert De Niro isn't supposed to be a purely villainous figure who is... I mean, not that those examples I listed earlier aren't, but there's some case to be made for Robert De Niro succeeding in Heat, whereas, you know, Walter White really, especially after a certain point, all his actions are just motivated by total greed, and there's no, you know, decent reason to support him. But now I'm talking against myself because I don't think that's true for Heat. Maybe I just need to rewatch Heat. Watch some Al Pacino chew up some scenery. Watch Val Kilmer back in his peak. Michael Mann, though, is a director that generally leaves me somewhat kind of cold. I don't... particularly love most Michael Mann stuff. I mean, he's makes beautiful, wonderful, very cool looking things, but that's often not enough for me. I mean, I guess it's been a while since we've had any Michael Mann movies. He had an HBO Max series earlier this year, but I didn't watch that. I guess Heat would be my favorite thing of his, Heat or Collateral. But yeah, I should just rewatch Heat. Poop. Disconnected, or we lost a person and ejected from the game. Well, hopefully I've still got the trio with me here. Very nice. Oh, Michael Mann. I'll stop saying mean things about your career. But that Johnny Depp movie was real bad, though. I do like Collateral. Okay, I'm done talking about Michael Mann. Poo poo. Well, let's try again here. Eric says that he liked Post-Peak Kilmer in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Eric, I don't know how many times I can say it, but every time the opportunity arises, I need to. I must. I'm compelled. That's because you're a man of excellent taste and extreme discernment. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang is one of the greatest comedies of all time, and I mean that literally. And I've said it before on. I mean, I know it's been a cherry on top for me. I know it's been. I've recommended it, but the hardest I have ever laughed in my entire life. I'm certain of this. Like the hardest I have ever laughed in a movie was in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, and it was Val Kilmer delivering a line to Robert Downey Jr. where I won't give away what happens that makes him say this, but Val Kilmer just looks at Robert Downey Jr. and says, "Who taught you math?" After a snafu involving fractions. It is so shocking, so out of left field, and so unexpected. Could not recommend it more. If you haven't seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, stop watching this stream right now. Go watch it. One of the greatest comedies of all time. A post-peak Val Kilmer, and then ironically, weirdly, who would have ever thought, pre-peak Robert Downey Jr. It's kind of Robert Downey Jr.'s comeback vehicle. From his real rough 90s years. And director Shane Black and Robert Downey Jr. would go on to reunite for the incredibly underwhelming Iron Man 3. Eric says that Kiss Kiss Bang Bang has the best dialogue since Glengarry Glen Ross. I'm not sure I totally agree about the Glengarry Glen Ross thing, but agree that its dialogue is 100% amazing. And again, I'm kind of a contrarian on the... Not that I don't like Glengarry Glen Ross, but I just really don't like... Well, no, I don't have anything bad to say about Glengarry Glen Ross. Other than David Mamet seems like kind of a jerk. Traded with V-Balls, V-Ball rules. It's hard to read. Well, that's going to go badly for me. Yep, that makes sense. Never hammer a squid tank, crab tank head on. Only leads to tragedy. Well, I got Goku Gamer 3/4 Bunny splatted me from behind. Good for you, Bunny. Well, dang. 25 seconds to go. It is still possible, but gonna take a bit of a miracle. I don't think that's gonna do it. Eric says, in response to my David Mamet dig, that he is. But that doesn't make him not an astute writer of masculinity gone awry. Maybe even the opposite. It takes one to know one type of mentality. Like a Jonathan Franzen writes so well about upper middle class assholes being such pieces of shit because Jonathan Franzen is a middle class, upper middle class piece of shit asshole himself. Takes one to know one. Okay, guys, that was a bit of a bloody nose. You know, hopefully we'll stop getting this G-darn map at some point soon, but I suppose we'll just have to see. Third bag in the meantime. Forgot to do it when we did our tab. Uh-oh. Bad timing. We'll just stop it there. We'll get back to it after this game. We'll be responsible. Play with oregano. Oh, shit. Same teammates, or same opponents, rather. The opposite. Eric says, geez, I think that example made me finally understand toxic masculinity. Well, you're welcome. Yeah, if you're ever confused by what people mean about toxic masculinity, just think about the unnecessary aggression and hostility that are present in most David Mamet joints. And how it can be both, like, intoxicating, enthralling, but also, like, unnecessarily cruel and hate-filled. Yeah, then I think that's a good shortcut. Ooh, pants. As I was trying to get out to the battlefield, got exploded by a random reef slider. Nicely done by that guy. Watch out for the blob blubber. Taken out by the umbrella user. I am still not smart enough to take them out. You gotta flank around and be smart and strategic, which is just not my playstyle. Holy shit, what a hit from Goku Gamer 3/4. As I was trying to take him out with his my big old ultra badass hammer, the dude just swings his little paint sword like nonchalantly as can be and takes me out as if it was no effort at all. Well, we got a revenge on Goku Gamer there. Don't know. Eric says, it makes him sad, like, Death of a Salesman. Death of a Salesman, man. I never actually read it myself, but it is the, like, quintessential, you know, if you're J.D. Salinger and Catcher in the Rye is your, like, tome for the angry kids to read, you're like, Death of a Salesman is the quintessential thing for the sad kids to read. And I've never read either of them, so I was the skip the assigned reading kid. Eric says he wonders if women have an analogous phenomenon to toxic masculinity. Well, there are, and not to get into too tricky of territories, but I think you would find the, and I don't know if they have any particular pathologies associated with them, but things like the Queen Bee type syndrome, your Mean Girls thing would be much more the female version of such things. But instead of using intimidations and like threats and you know, like this almost this near era of like physical violence, it's more social. It's using the unspoken social rules to control and manipulate and dominate over others. But I don't think it has its own pithy pathology. That was fun to watch. We watched a guy on the opposite team take his little reef shark straight into the drink. Makes me feel a little better. Neat! That was never gonna go well for me. But it was nice to be all the way up in their base. Although the game is very, very early, and I have no doubt they can turn this around. Thought I could take out Ash before they got me, but no such luck. Water level is dropping, and it looks like Pink has maybe taken the lead, at least for the moment. Gotta stay away from that Booyah Bomb. an umbrella person. Not smart enough to fight them. Just stay away. Damn it! Took some missiles that I don't even know if they were intended for me, but they certainly made short work of me nonetheless. Uh-oh, looks like Pink is ahead again. Only 30 seconds to go. I do think we are better than them. Pretty sure we can pull this out as long as we don't make any catastrophic errors here at the end. That's nice. That's nice. I don't know. I was looking at it there at the end, and they've got at least... I think that's going to be them, unfortunately. Holy hell. Reaper Man. Welcome, Reaper. Thanks for being here. Sorry I ignored you. Blue, welcome, man. I'm sorry I ignored you as well. Let me get this bag going. Welcome, guys. Blue, you're welcome to join us if you'd like. Reaper says, yo, would you listen to music I can recommend, man? Please share it, Reefer Man. I'd love to hear your recommendations. I'm not sure I'm not... Oh, shit. Only a small disaster back here. My filling chamber came unscrewed and sprayed some plant matter everywhere. Disaster's gonna happen. Sorry about that. Anyways. Blue says that the room's full, man. I'm sorry. I'm not sure who... Oh, Roku is here. Welcome, Roku. I'm sorry I missed you. Totally my bad, guys. I don't think I needed that bag anyways. We'll have to do some vacuuming after this. Always make sure your filling caps chamber is screwed on tight. Lesson we all got to learn live. Okay, close game last time. I'm sorry, I realize I'm behind in chat. I'll get to it. Get caught up. I'm gonna get focused on this game. Promise, promise. It's really gonna happen. After this death. This time right here. Maybe now. Well, I was killed by sin. I don't mind dying to sin. It was probably a lot of fun. Nice splat, Roku. Taking out that guy who had us locked down over there. Oh, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Put myself into the water, chasing some dude down. At least I got him, but not the wisest use of my time or hammer. All right, we got this, pink team. Nice, Roku. Oh, this one is going to be so close. I think we got more people out in the battlefield. Oh my god, it's going to be so close. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Says, y'all mind if I use the N word? Well, I'll leave that to chat to decide. It's what a tricky, impossible subject. I guess it depends on how you see yourself, as to whether or not you feel permission to use it. If I often think, if aliens were to come to Earth, what are some of the things that they would find most inexplicable, most just totally incomprehensible to their not human trained, not human accultured brains? And I think sometimes I do think that the taboo around the N-word might be one of the hardest for the, and not that there is a taboo. I mean, makes a hell of a lot of sense to me. I mean, obviously, there are many words that have obvious taboos for obvious reasons, but the intensity of the taboo and the disproportionate, I don't know, well, disproportionate might not be correct, but there's no other single word that a human being in the American culture can argue or utter that could bring more consequences upon them, ignoring other contexts. But it's a weird thing that we have developed. Makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways and makes not a lot of sense in other ways. I wonder if it will always persist, if there will always be such a stark, absolute taboo around it when there already is not for certain. It's weird. And please understand, I am in no way, this is such a terrible topic. Why am I doing this? Why am I talking about this? I am in no way saying anybody should use it or feel free to use it, other than the people who are already have the cultural permission and structures to use it. But there is no other word that we have imbued with such power. And I find it strange that the most powerful word and the one that contains the most amount of meaning and force behind it is a slur, which in some sense is a great thing that is the most taboo word we can come up with. In other senses, it's like a real indictment. That was a long answer to your question of whether or not you can use it. And the answer is totally complicated, just like my answer there. And now I will wisely stop talking about it. Okay. Wish us luck, blue team. I think we're a slightly different outfit than we were before. I'm not sure. We got blue with us. I'm not sure who we lost to game for blue. I was rambling on about things that I have no right to talk about. Oh, we lost Grovel. My bad, Grovel. Feel free to join us anytime a spot opens up again. Thanks if you ducked out intentionally. My bad if not. Thanks for playing with us either way, and hope to play again with you real soon. Uh-oh. I don't know how I won that one, but I'll take it. I must have hit them from the just right angle from my hammer to count as mine as the winning hit there. Still a very close game between our two teams. Okay, fingers crossed I can have some luck up here. Uh-oh, somebody's hunting me from behind. I think they're gonna get me. Yep. Reaper says, one, again, I'm so sorry if I stepped out of line with my comments about the unspoken word. Reaper Man says, you have no right to talk about it. Why are you thinking like this? And then he says, by the way, KRS1 would disagree with you, dude. Holy shit, we won by 0.4%, says Blue. I wasn't paying attention. Oh my god, excellent game, blue team. Holy shit, I didn't realize it was that close. Sorry, I gotta get disengaged with chat here. Reefer Man, who is KRS1? I'm so curious. And Reeferman, I guess my final word on the topic is, it's not that I have no right to talk about it or no right to think about it. I, of course, have all of those rights to do those things, but it is a topic that I am in no way qualified to talk about. Many people have had far more enlightening, impassioned, and productive discussions about a eternally thorny topic like that, and I have nothing positive to contribute other than so I guess it's a self-imposed censorship. Like, I promise my perspective is not going to be additive in any way, shape, or form, and instead all it's going to do is possibly inflame people's feelings one way or the other, which is not my intention. But who knows? Thank you, Nasty. I appreciate the encouragement. Okay, moving on. We've talked about the CCP. We've talked about the perplexing nature of the taboo of racial slurs, let's come up with a sunnier, more positive topic. Here's what we're going to do while that is happening. We've had a lot of communication errors. I'm so sorry, everybody on blue team. I'm going to close my game. It does help me sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and exit it out, reopen it, and then I will make the room again. I hope you guys will join me. I need to go use the bathroom. So I'm going to make this room, create this thing. Hopefully this will fix some of our communication errors. Fingers crossed. And then I'm going to make a quick trip to the little girl's room. So just a moment. Reefer Man, I am totally lost, by the way, on your comments. No idea. Help me understand, buddy. But there were anti-robot people hating on Marvin. I think the robot man's name. I'm sorry to Marvin and all the anti-robot people hating on him. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to make that room, and then I will be right back in just a moment. I'm going to take a quick restroom break. Mute this mic. Be right back. Awesome. Okay, thank you for waiting. Looks like we got at least 3 of us back. Hopefully we can get Egg or Grovel to come play with us again. Sorry, Reefer. Book Bicentennial Man. Whoop whoop, that's the sound of the police. Ever heard of it? Oh, it's a saying in the book Bicentennial Man. The human says to the non-man. I don't know the book Bicentennial Man. I'm somewhat aware of the Robin Williams movie Bicentennial Man, but I don't remember the plot of it other than Robin Williams is a robot who lives for a long time. Some might even think like 200 years. But that's about as much as I know. I apologize for not knowing more than that, Reefer Man, but the remainder of this bag for Robin Williams and the Bicentennial bed. That's gonna be a booyah bomb. And that's a suction bomb. Ready to kill me, fleeing the other one. I was doomed no matter what, and I just didn't know it. You're referring to, Mr. Isaac Asimov, by the way, Reefer Man. of the iRobot and The Last Question fame, and basically many of the foundational sci-fi stories of the mid-20th century. Oh, I'm gonna die for sure. Oh no! Oh, wait, I'm still alive. They didn't see me. Looking pretty good for green so far. The second, oh man, Hilarious, nice pun name, has really had my number. That's the second suction bomb they've had waiting for me. And I arrived to my own death. Good for them. Well, I'll take that and some revenge on Hilarious. And I'll take another double on those two. That's very nice. Oh, they snuck around behind me. Nicely done, 16th Rider. Now, Reeferman, you seem to be an appreciator of great speculative science fiction. The best piece of speculative science fiction, though, and in my estimation, the truest summation of the human experience has already been written. It was written not too long ago, actually. A short story that is so profound and so meaningful. I've actually read it on live streams more than once because it is so short. It is in the excellent sci-fi short story compilation that I have right here by Ted Chiang. So, Reefer, if you are looking for some excellent sci-fi, look, it's already my copy is already turned to it because probably the last time we read it here on live stream. What's expected of us? It is the greatest story in science fiction, and again, the truest experience, truest writing about what it means to be alive that I've ever seen, and it is 1, 2, 3.5 pages long. Maybe we'll read it again at some point. Although that whole collection is truly excellent, top to bottom, and as good as anything Asimov ever wrote. That is Exhalation by Ted Chiang, the guy who wrote the story that Arrival is based upon, the excellent science fiction movie 2016 with Amy Adams. Bummer. Clean up the base a little bit while I'm here. Oh, I almost fell to my death. Oh, whoops. Tweezix taking me out with an ink mine. I think that's the first time I've ever actually died by an ink mine. I've run over them a couple of times and they've done some damage, but I don't think I've ever actually been taken out by one. Bummer. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. Gotta run. Got one before Tweezix took me out. Close game. They are definitely ahead. Reeferman, can I ask you a question? And I think I might have asked you this in a previous incarnation of yours. I'm guessing you've been with us before. And I understand that it is a priori kind of an offensive question, but I promise I am trying to ask it in a as inoffensive way as possible. I'm gonna get splat suction bombed immediately, my bad. Ooh, whoops. Sorry, sorry, Orange Team, and that was a blue team. I even was so confused, I got our colors wrong. We were so annihilated. All I saw was orange. Assumed it was us. Which was a foolish assumption to make. Reeferman, is it possible, Reeferman, that you are currently, right now, using any substances other than weed? And would any of those substances be stimulants in nature? I've helped. That's a flattering way of describing it. I've worked with a lot of people on stimulants before, and you, Reefer, you, like a lot of my people I've worked with on stimulants before, you have a very similar energy to them. You're so expressive and jubilant. I'm curious, not just because you message a lot, Reefer Man, but it's the tenor and the content of those messages that makes me think this is a dude who may be enjoying some kind of, to be very frank, it seems like maybe it's very it seems why am I being so, bro, it seems like he might be doing some meth or speed of some kind, an amphetamine. Uh-oh. Well, didn't get tenemistled, but I went right into the Flings roller. Reefer Man, is it possible, Reefer Man, and again, I apologize for the inherently rude and invasive and nature of the questions. Have you ever possibly been diagnosed with any kind of schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder or anything of that nature? Blue team's really holding it down out there, though, which is nice, because I am failing spectacularly. Just like that. And, but Reaper Man, to be very clear, and I apologize for even asking, just because one is diagnosed with those things doesn't mean that one has those things, or that those diagnoses are even ever really accurate. But the mindset is has me curious. Ooh, I think that looks like us. Reaperman, just ignore me. Just ignore me. I'm being very, nope, that is not us. That's why you don't predict. Wolf. Rough game. Okay. All right. Reaperman says, in response to my rude line of questioning about potential diagnoses, that he's aware that there are a lot of misdiagnoses and that there's a huge gender and racial bias in who gets diagnosed with this. Yes, that is very, 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 very true. I assume some of those things would bear out in actuality. Like, my guess is that, for example, Reefer Man, that there is a slight gender bias for schizophrenia in prevalence of males versus females, that there really are actually more men with schizophrenia than women, but it would not be to the degree that in which the diagnoses are laid out. But the trickier ones would be things like racial bias, where people of color are more often given diagnoses of schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder. And there, I would not be surprised to see most of that be largely explained through diagnosis and or biases in diagnosing, and really any number of small things that could force those discrepancies. None of them good. All of them from a place of bias and discrimination. But I don't know. And I did not mean to insinuate in any way, shape, or form that, again, you would have that. I just, as a former mental health rehabilitation specialist, I've heard many people like you come in with people unhappy about a diagnosis that they received. Fair or not. Anyways, and it's an unfortunate truth. Last thing also as well, and my rude comments about your, do you happen to use any kind of stimulants? There is a definite correlation between diagnoses of schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder and substance abuse. Again, for a whole multitude of reasons, but well, all right. Well, that's a bummer. Oh man, another communication error. I'm going to use that, unfortunately, guys, as my opportunity to say, Well, I'm going to have to reset the router again. I think it was probably just a random error. But my voice is going again. And I'm so sorry to duck out without too much notice here. Reefer Man, thanks for sharing your story with us. Eric, thanks for being here. Blue, Roku, Egg, Grovel, thanks for playing with me. It's been so much fun hanging out with you guys. And I will, of course, be back later this week to hang out, play some Splatoon, do some drugs. Take care, man. Have a great day.